Well, you guys, today we're taking a look at Microsoft provide FBI BitLocker keys to unlock encrypted drives. Now, BitLocker is a built-in data protection feature for Windows. It's used by millions of users worldwide to encrypt data on their devices. It comes pre-installed on many different Windows devices. So people are encrypting their drives with BitLocker thinking that they are safe. But if you're committing serious crime and the FBI starts to investigate you and contact Microsoft to gain access to your drive, a spokesperson for Microsoft told Forbes the company hands over encryption keys to the federal authorities if receives a valid legal order, and that receives around 20 such requests for BitLocker keys a year. That is pretty scary stuff. Now, this right here is what law enforcement or anyone would see if they try to gain access to your drive. They would need a key to gain access to the data on that drive because the drive would be encrypted with BitLocker. Now, why BitLocker was useful is if you had a laptop and you encrypted your drive and someone stole your laptop, they would not be able to gain access to that precious data because all the data on that drive would be encrypted. And it's very possible that the FBI would never have been able to decrypt the data without Microsoft's assistance. So where is the trust? If you are encrypting your data with BitLocker, you would expect it to be secure and safe. But if companies are going to give up your key when anyone asks for it, especially the FBI, then that is not safe and that's not secure. Now, this is a major trust issue with companies. If you're encrypting your data on your drive, you expect it to be safe and secure. But if they're going to give that up for people to gain access to the data on that drive, then that makes that software not safe. Now, of course, yes, these were criminals that were using BitLocker, and of course they needed to gain access to it. So what is BitLocker? Well, on your Windows-based system, you can access BitLocker like this, and it should tell you that it's off. Now, normally by default now when you install Windows, BitLocker is enabled by default. So where is the problem? Well, looking at this window right here, you can see how do you want to back up your key? Save it to your Microsoft account. This means your key is stored on Microsoft servers. This means they have access to that key. Now, I would have said years ago this was a good way of recovering your data if you lost your key. But now, saving your key yourself and storing it on a USB flash drive or hard drive or something like that with a password on it so they can't gain access to it, this is probably your best method. Unfortunately, with the lack of trust, if people are going to give up your key, even using this method is not really guaranteed because it's Microsoft's own software and they have to issue the key when you're encrypting the drive, which means it's probably not safe. None of this is secure and safe. If Microsoft are going to dish out your key to authorities, this means that when you're encrypting your drive, it's not safe because the whole reason for encrypting your drive in the first place was to make sure your data is secure and encrypted and no one can gain access to it. And I mean no one apart from you. That's why you're encrypting it. And this is a major trust issue. If you are encrypting your drive with BitLocker, you expect it to be secure and safe, and only you have the key. That's the whole purpose of encrypting your drive in the first place. So if you are using BitLocker, I would advise you to use an alternative method of encrypting your drive rather than using BitLocker itself. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, well, hold on a second. They only give it up to the FBI to catch criminals. But that's like a VPN company saying that they don't keep logs. And then all of a sudden, there's a long list of logs all of a sudden when the FBI come knocking. So that makes BitLocker about as useful as a chocolate teapot, in my personal opinion, if they're just going to give up keys willy-nilly whenever they feel like it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you want to read the full article on Forbes' website, I'll leave a link for that in the video description where they go into great detail about the case and what's happened. But if you're using BitLocker to encrypt your drive, I would use another company that has a bit more trust in it. Anyway, with that said, I think that's going to be about it. Just a quick one for today. My name has been Brian from briteccomputers.co.uk. Big shout out to my YouTube members. I appreciate the support, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.